Hi, if you don't know me, I am Ali Mohamdani. You'll probably know me from my most popular video, Baldi vs Shadow fan-made cartoon beatbox battles, a video that just broke over 500,000 views. A series and episode inspired by Verbalase's cartoon beatbox battles. I found cartoon beatbox battles in 2019 when I was only 10 years old. I would learn and recite the beatboxes as if they were my religion. I loved the show so much that it inspired me to make my own fan-made series. While crappily edited with bad beatboxes, I was only 10 years old, and you can check out the video with most old videos that we uploaded not too long ago. But one day it all came crashing down. Since I was only so young, I had no idea what copyright claims and more importantly copyright strikes were. In May of 2020, Verbalase gave me 2 copyright strikes for stealing his content. I rushed to private them the following night, consulting with some other friends that had received strikes earlier that day. Channels like Hydro Animates, Banyonten, and more. But it was too late. On May 28th, 2020, Verbalase took down my channel and many others as well. I was only 10 at the time, and this left me devastated. I remember waking up that morning, crying at 6 AM because videos I was making since 2018 were all gone with no trace. I tried emailing Verbalase many times with minimal luck, but yet I continued to support him. Despite this being a very obvious indicator that Verbalase is someone I should not be looking up to, I simply shifted to this channel and continued to watch and support his work, along with many of the other friends that had their channels taken down as well. I was completely oblivious to what would happen next. In early 2021, Verbalase met Hydro Animates, someone who had also had their channel taken down by Ace, but like me, continued to support him no matter what. Verbalase joined Hydro's Discord server, causing an absolute riot amongst us, because this was someone we looked up to, someone we trusted, and we loved his content. And around that time, Ace surely gave us no reason to lose interest in his content. He had just switched animation teams to up the quality for his cartoon beatbox battle episodes, his views were at an all-time high, and now he was interacting with fans. Shortly after Verbalase made his own Discord server, where everyone was allowed, he promoted it as a fun way to communicate with him and receive consistent updates for the upcoming cartoon beatbox battle episodes. One of the admin moderators in the server was Hydro Animates. But before I get into that, let me sidetrack real quick. This is Hydro Animates. At the time of recording this, they have over 10,000 subscribers and a really close friend of mine. And at the time, Hydro was running their own show called Hydro's YouTuber Battles, a cartoon beatbox battles inspired series, but instead of fictional characters beatboxing against each other, it was YouTubers in the cartoon beatbox battles community. A community built up of cartoon beatbox battle fans that all created similar content to CBB. Now, while HYB was not the first YouTuber beatbox battles competition show, it was certainly the most popular, with the most viewed episode having over 46,000 views at the time of recording. But now, back to Ace. Ace was aware and hated HYB. He claimed it and YBBs in general were unoriginal, despite his own show being a spoof of the likes of epic rap battles of history. And HYB at that point had branched from being yet another minuscule CBB clone, but with a show of his own identity, animation, and clear passion for the series. Ace did not care, however, enforcing moderators to ban anyone associated with the project or supported HYB, except Hydro. Hydro had clear contact with Ace, and Ace had hired Hydro to create meme compilations of content about him for him to react to a video. Hydro was not getting paid, but they did not mind as they still look up to Ace. But that did not last for long. Fast forwarding a lot to early 2023, Verbalase had put out 2 meme compilation videos and had instructed Hydro to create another, in which she hadn't in the 1.5-year long gap between Ace asking for it. While incompetence on Hydro's part was a factor, there was hardly any memes about Verbalase to include in the compilation. Hydro had to sometimes create her own because the interest for Verbalase was on a strong decline. Verbalase was livid, constantly bad-mouthing Hydro in his own server and in her DMs because of a simple meme compilation that took anyone with decent CapCut skills to create, and if he really wanted it that bad, he could have instructed anyone else to do it. Hydro ended up finishing the meme compilation after Verbalase had removed Hydro's moderator from his channel, taken back a promised Verbalase plushie that she had paid for, and to make matters worse, Ace has yet to react to the video. But after all this, Hydro remained on good terms with Ace, and this will become more apparent when we talk about Hideaway. But for now, let's go backtrack to 2021 and Ace's server. Verbalase had told his server that he'd been working on a special project that cost him $47,000 and sent a screenshot of him and Charlie Morningstar from Aspen Hotel, telling us that he had been working to create an animated music video using Synapson's Hideaway song, as he felt the original music video was distasteful to the song's message. So, boom, $47,000 on this project that Ace claims he cannot release publicly on YouTube as it contains mature topics, which then raises 2 questions. 1, why would you spend $47,000 on an animation that you cannot post, meaning you will not be receiving any profit from the video? And 2, if this video is too mature to post, why would you tell a server full of minors, most of which are under the age of 15, that this video exists? But whatever. What about Verbalase's real moneymaker, cartoon beatbox battles? Well, there was a 6-month gap in the series, which is one of the longest waiting periods the show has ever received. Why could this be? Is this because the animation is super high quality? Well, no, because while objectively good animation, it was riddled with errors, and if you're paying tens of thousands of dollars on animation for your show, it better return flawless. Was this because Verbalase needed a break from posting? No, because he would give us constant reminders that the episode was coming. Or maybe a special project was getting the majority of Ace's attention up to this point. Well, regardless of the reasoning, this long hiatus from posting cartoon beatbox battles was the beginning of the decline for his channel. The episode was not bad in itself, but highly underperformed compared to his previous episodes. Due to the long wait time and animation errors, Verbalase said that he would be making the cartoon beatbox battle episodes a lot shorter in hopes of being able to push out the episodes more consistently. However, while the episode was greatly shorter than the previous, it took 6 months again to come out and performed even worse. To make things worse, this was the finale of his cartoon beatbox battle season 1, and it was a rushed episode with rushed beatboxes, strangely poor audio quality, and at this point the YouTube algorithm stopped giving a shit about Verbalase. Every non-cartoon beatbox battles video he'd create after that will struggle to reach even 100,000 views, and even cartoon beatbox battles will not even reach 5 million views. Just for comparison, Verbalase's Pennywise vs. Patrick has 21 million views, while his most recent Pikachu vs. Groot remastered episode only has 1 million. Verbalase is aware of the decline for his channel too, and he stated many times that this is the YouTube algorithm's fault. And while, yes, sure, the YouTube algorithm not pushing his content anymore is partially to blame, Ace has stripped CBB of all of its fun characteristics and what made it strong before. Clever matchups, tournament-style bracket, jokes that weren't just potty humor, and more. Verbalase has resorted to releasing FNAF, and I can't believe I'm saying this, skibbity toilet beatboxes to get views. If this was not enough, Verbalase constantly proves himself difficult to work with according to his writing staff. A person who wishes to remain anonymous had been hired to work with Verbalase to help write for Verbalase's upcoming FNAF projects, described Verbalase as demanding and easily offended. Anonymous person suggested Verbalase dial down on the innuendo jokes and try to give Verbalase some constructive criticism, in which he did not take well, writing out paragraphs complaining about how anonymous person shouldn't tell Ace what to do and any creative interpretation is rejected. Verbalase also admitting to not sharing his cartoon beatbox battle episodes to anyone who would criticize them, and then left the group chat. But I want to focus on this part of Verbalase's message where he says, "We wrote about people getting scared so bad that they might poop their pants, and this was written in a way where it was metaphorically speaking. You wrote about STDs and rape. Out of the two, I think yours was far worse than what my writer wrote." Which leads me into Hideaway. If you had been on Twitter anytime in the past week, you've probably seen the constant array of posts about Verbalase allegedly paying $50,000 to create a soft porn video of him and Charlie Morningstar from Aspen Hotel, and it's true. I already stated how Ace told his Discord server full of underage children that a video of this nature existed, and that it was too mature to post on his channel. But he had posted it elsewhere, on a channel named Chase, with the description, "Animated music videos where the girls pursue the boys." But now back to Hydro Animates. In June of 2023, their cousin, we'll call Puffin, had found the video and sent the video to Hydro. Hydro sent it in a group chat containing some of her close friends at the time, including me and the creator of the very popular thread on this topic, The Start of Luck. We were genuinely disgusted and appalled by this video, and okay, I'm not gonna lie, we found it really funny when we first saw it, but nonetheless, Ace had paid $50,000 for a soft porn video, told a server full of minors that it existed, and now we had found the video. Now, we decided to keep this secret, especially for Hydro, because after all of this, Hydro still had dwindling respect for Ace and considered him a friend, and wanted to spare his reputation. But it wasn't long before this spread across the YBB community, then spread to Ace's server, and it caused outrage and embarrassment to Verbalase and his server's moderators to the point where they banned the words "hide" and "away" from ever being mentioned. The worst part is, Verbalase considers this entirely okay. He considers everyone who judges him for Hideaway haters or bullies and is posting on his 2 channels as if nothing happened, and claims that his true fans and supporters would stick through him throughout the end. This man is 40 and is acting completely childish and immature after he spent $50,000 on a soft porn music video using a song he does not own, a character he does not own, told a server full of minors that the soft porn video exists, and when we find the video and call him out for it, he claims it's bullying. Oh, and also, Verbalase is openly homophobic and transphobic too. I won't get too much into it, but I'll put the screenshots up on screen. But yeah, this was actually the final nail in the coffin for Verbalase. And it's pretty ironic too, because Charlie Morningstar is in fact bisexual.